Okay, so Amy, what I've decided to do here is quite simple. Right, so we just had a couple of short conversations about this, but it's going to show you basically how simple it is to create a platform out of this. So first of all, you have to realize that we already have the platform. Okay, so I'm working on something which more or less has all the building blocks that you're going to need. So the key thing to do here is to look at how we can use my platform in order to reduce the cost of delivering your platform, um, and thereby achieve, kill two birds with one stone. In fact, we can kill multiple birds with one stone if we work together. So in this case, you know what I'm building. So I'm building a five-sided, multi-sided business platform with hook and bait type functionality, and then creating network effects within that, so that there's a lot of spin-offs once you have the central need, or once you have a solution that delivers a genuine value innovation. Okay, value innovation is the key. So once you deliver a value innovation, which is basically something that solves a problem but does it with, like, by making it cheaper than ever, and it's inexpensive, and it actually gets cheaper with economies of scale. So that's a value innovation. In other words, you're bringing something to the market that not only like improves functionality, improves efficiency, improves, is easier to use, it delivers a lot of things, but also does it at lower cost. And that's what a value innovation is. So let's look at, just for the sake of creativity and thing, I just decided to use a name called Regulate. So Regulate, it's just to mess around. Kids give a platform, just to give it a bit of a sense of, I just thought of this on the way home. So there's a little logo, and really it's just to give it a bit of nothing is in stone. This is just a few minutes worth of brainstorming for myself. So here it is, the platform. So look, this is Tabla at the moment, but in this case we're looking at it. Okay, so let's look at the five sides. So what we have is the first and most important. Okay, so this is if it was Tabla, this would be the pub. So it's the parent kid. So this is where it all starts. This is the person that creates uh, the request or the need, and what this whole thing does is it solves a problem that exists between the parent of the kid, that's the person who's organising the party, and the parent invitee, which is there's usually a list of, from 5 to 30, maybe 40, sometimes even bigger parties. Okay, and this at this point in the relationship is when these kids can't really go online themselves, but everything is done through the parent. So really it's about, there's a network that exists between parents. A lot of them are dealing with each other online on WhatsApp groups and things like that, but effectively what we're talking about is um, solving a particular problem that exists here, and there is a problem. And me having kids, I know what the problem is. There's a number of problems, but there's one main specific one that's solved very quickly here. Okay, so the first one is that the parents are organising a party, which is enough of a problem in itself, but and they have to invite everybody, which is, again, a bit of a problem. There's a load of processes of writing things out and doing things like that. And within that, then there's a kind of transaction that happens where each invitee brings a present, a card, and all that stuff. And even all of that stuff has its own issues. All right. Uh, there are some things that are nice to do, like the kids like making cards and things like that. But actually, there's other ways that you can have the same creativity and the same individualization within a platform. So effectively, what the real thing that we're solving is the kid here can create a profile, and in that profile they can create their invitees, which would be the parent emails, the names of the kids, and then the parent's email, and they would also be able to send out, let's say, a link. There'd be lots of functionality that allowing them to generate the emails from the parents, and also it allows the kid to create like it's a little bit like a GoFundMe page, but it allows kids to be able to say, look, this is what I'd like. I'm saving up for this, and this is, you know, I'm saving up for this, and they're able to just put that on something, and they're able to then see other people donate to that. In other words, you know, give a present towards that. Um, and then other people can decide, you know, closer members can decide to give bigger amounts towards that. But it teaches the kid that the power of a network. It teaches them that yes, it is possible to put something up, and if you put it up creatively, you can and build a story maybe around it. You can actually get other people in your network to buy into that, and maybe give you an amount of money towards your birthday, but actually achieving what you actually want. So it's harnessing the value that is in in this relationship here, and getting the most for the kid. Okay, so this is the primary need that's achieved. On the other side of the thing is the parent of the invitee. So I mean, a solution like this solves a huge amount of problems. I'm not going to go into all of them now, but a solution like this actually allows the parent, first of all, like to avoid the going around the house looking for a fiver. I mean, you know, cash is becoming more and more scarce. You know, people don't have change. You know, so the ability to be able to say, okay, let's sit down and do Tommy's present now. We're going to give him. Let's have a look at his invite. Blah, 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 there it is. Would you like to make out a card for him? You know, you can do an online card, like made out of a couple of pictures, which teaches the kids, how to find pictures on the web, how to add in, how to create. You know, it's a very interesting process, and well worth learning. And what we're doing here is we're creating an opportunity for parents to work with their kids to create a profile, to create a response to an invite, and to actually transact online. And for many, it might be the very first time of doing this. So that's why there's a lot of value in this. So, you know, just in that alone, just in that solution to those parents, and the ability to manage, uh, create a more fluid management of both giving the present, receiving the present, sending out the invites, accepting the invites, and then locking that into kind of an event specific database. So, for example, it would be Tommy's birthday on the 15th of December is date specific. It's locked in, and so any content that's added as part of that would be locked into that date and actually locked into everybody's emails. So, for example, it would be a very safe place to have photographs left. So, for example, any pictures that are left there from that are taken by the kid's parent could be left in there, knowing that everybody has maybe signed in. So there's an awful lot of network effects and you know, benefits from having everything on that. And of course, you know, parents can, let's say, you know, even put there's lots of other things like on parties where a parent can say, oh, my kid has a certain diet thing, or you know, the funny kids eating things, a nut allergy or whatever. So again, you know, it's, you know, the more I think about this, the more it actually has so much to add, and it can solve so many problems. And you know, the great thing about this is once you do it once, it's done forever. So just, you know, just to expand on it a little bit, on this is you've got your kid's profile, right? So on the kid's profile, you've got a kid involvement, network effects, party profile, safe location for party pictures and parents, right? That's what I was just talking about. The invitee list, and the key thing here again, I keep reiterating, is this something that the parent does with the child? And yes, okay, in the old days it was painting pictures and, you know, making a card, and you know, we all love those days and it's great, but at the end of the day the world is moving on. This is the way it's going, so you can have the same type of creativity, very much have the same type of creativity, by doing it all online and using the online tools available. Um, the product party invite is really about the pre and post management, pre and post party management, and what that is really is, again, what I was mentioning earlier on. It's just the kind of processes of, you know, first of all, sending out an invitation uh, to a group, let's say, where parents can say, oh yeah, Johnny's my friend, or Johnny's, and they create that invite because we have to get the emails of the parents, and that's all of this is quite important, especially in this litigious environment that we're in. Getting permission to do things and having everything kind of documented is really important when you're playing around, when you're working with kids. Um, then on the other side here, so I'll just take that back in. On the other side here, we have parent access to the invite, the online process that's looking after everything, and then of course again we have the kid involvement. It's the kids first network, and this is really important. When you're dealing with children, and the earlier that we can get them understanding the strength of people, the strength of numbers, the better. The earlier that they realise that together they're stronger, the better. The earlier that we get them to understand that they can do everything online, and technology is not something to be afraid of. But maybe it's the parents, even with the parents, that they're not so much afraid. So look, absolutely the connection exists there. This already to me is a very very viable product, and so what I want to talk about now is how this product would grow. So first of all, you all know now the big thing at the moment now is affiliate marketing. So it's all about how fast something can grow. We don't have to use, everyone always said word of mouth is the fastest of all, and this is perfect for word of mouth, because what you can have is affiliates, and a system. The platform can have like a wallet as well. So let's say, for example, So first of all, this kid here, who decides to buy something, um, he can get a kickback from, there's a lot of different things, a lot of ways that we can actually create an ecosystem within a lot of the relationships that are here. um, and I mean, I haven't even started thinking about it, but there's bloggers on particular toys. You know um, there's so much stuff we can do. Rewards based for parents, so parents then send this idea to other parents, and it grows like that, and then they get a kickback for whatever spent on the next party. And there's all this kind of, yeah, look, I'm not going to go into it. It's definitely viable, definitely doable, and a lot of spin-offs can be done on this. Also, in terms of admin, okay, every single platform needs what we call a team of curators, maybe someone to look after treasury or finance, and obviously a technology partner, which we have as well. So that's all looked after. Everything is done online. There's no offices. There's no everything. We're just simply a layer that sits on top of it. And interestingly, here, this is another area that's really, really interesting. Again, it's the fifth part of this five-sided platform, and it's the people who are selling in to the network here. So actually, they're selling to everybody, because they're selling to the kids who are organizing the party, and they are also selling really to these. So they're also selling to them in a way. They can advertise to them because they're going to sometimes they're going to one time have a party. So effectively, what you have here is you've got all of these, right, who could effectively, there is a model where they can uh, they can pay this person here. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that this ecosystem can work, where everybody's a winner. And again, I'm into these type of ecosystems that where everybody's a winner. So Eamon, like, to finish off, that's 15 minutes now. This is very very doable. I think it's a really good idea. From a technology perspective, you know, effectively this is tablet, just flipped. So, you know, like, let's talk about it. So this can be done. It can be done. I can build this for you effectively, and then we can just, once we have it, then we just kind of make it look like what we want it to look like, and we can do it on a phased approach. and have a real idea about how to grow it. Again, I'm really into kind of growing things cleverly and not using a lot of money. But um, if if you're interested in doing something, maybe we can talk about it at lunch on Thursday. Okay, so I'm very happy with that. I hope you were happy with it. I've sent this over to you by email. I'm gonna have a chat on Thursday. All right, bye bye.